Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Scholastica Ezeribe. I'm your facilitator for EGC A04, Techniques of Counseling. Our topic for today is methods, techniques, and strategies of counseling. Most of the times, counselors use these three concepts interchangeably to mean the same thing. But as a matter of fact, they are not the same. In our lesson today, we are going to see the different meanings of these concepts, method, techniques, and strategies as they are used in counseling. So I want you to sit back and let's go to the lesson together. So our topic is methods, techniques, and strategies in counseling. And the course code is EGC 804, and the title is Techniques of Counseling. Like I said before, the three concepts mentioned in the topic are often used by counselors as one entity or in an interwoven manner as a means of counseling clients. This lesson is one opportunity for us to understand fully the meaning of each of the words, that is, the method, technique, and strategy in counseling. How and when to use each of these words or concepts in counseling. What do we intend to achieve by the end of this lesson? By the end of this lesson, the student should be able to explain the concept of method as it applies to counseling. They should be able to describe the concepts of techniques in relation to counseling. They should also be able to explain the concept of strategies and establish the relationship among methods, techniques, and strategies as they are used in counseling. Now we'll come to the concept of methods in counseling. Now let's look at the picture here. This is a picture of the counselor here, and then a man and a wife in marriage counseling. So, having that in mind, we want to say that sometimes experts in counseling often use method as an overall terminology that covers theories and models of counseling. And that is why sometimes when you go to books or anywhere in the internet, when you are surfing the net and you are looking for the methods in counseling, you will see the different approaches to counseling. You see the different therapies being talked about as the method. Now, we want to tell you that everything that is done in counseling, everything that the counselor does during the process of counseling is seen as the method by some other counselors. From the entry to the beginning, now these ones are sitting here. Whatever the counselor does with them, right from the time they come in to the end of their counseling relationship, is known as the method of counseling. And then it is also defined as an orderly arrangement of activities and systematic procedure of doing things. Given this, we can now say that method is a systematic process through which counselors approach their clients' problems in order to solve them. Like these people here now, they have a problem. That approach, the systematic process and approach the counselor uses in achieving his counseling goal, in solving the problem of this couple, is known as the method. So it's a systematic process through which counselors approach their client's problem in order to solve them. All the things, everything that is done in counseling to achieve the counseling goal is the method. Now you talk about techniques. Now we are still here. We say that technique is described as an activity or action required to carry out an assignment or achieve the goal of a particular counseling method. you choose a counseling method, you have looked at the systematic process that you will go in order to solve your problem. Now, what are those activities? There are things you must do in achieving this goal. There are specific actions or activities that you must undertake in order to achieve or solve the problems of the clients. These specific activities or actions that are required to carry out are required to achieve the goal of a particular counseling method is known as the technique. Put in another way, it is simply a process of activity through which a counselor gets his clients to solve his problems. Now you have designed, there is a systematic process you want to use in order to achieve your goal. That is the method. In trying to go about this your systematic process, there are things you must do in order to make sure that the goal is achieved. Those specific activities, those actions are the techniques. For instance, you want to use summarization. They look at the couple here now. The man talks, the woman talks. The counselor now here summarizes them, summarizes their talk in order to help them understand themselves, to be aware of what they are doing, so as to help them solve their problems. That is the technique they have using. They may come now and say, maybe the wife is afraid of heights and the man has brought her to the counselor. The counselor can use systematic desensitization to make sure that the problem of fear is solved. And so that activity used, that systematic desensitization now, is what was used in order to solve this lady's problem. And so that systematic desensitization is the technique, because it is the activity or the process used, the activity or the action that is used to solve the client's problem. A counselor can use various techniques to progressively solve his client's problem. Like I was talking of systematic desensitization. You can use the summarization I talked before. You can also use the systematic desensitization, all in the same counseling relationship, to make sure that your client's problem is solved. And in so doing, you have used techniques. This desensitization you use, the summarization you use, are all specific activities, and that is what we know as a technique. And so, strategy of counseling. Now we are still seeing this couple seated before the counselor. The way the counselor will plan or organize or sequence those specific activities in order to achieve his counseling goal. And in order to achieve his counseling goal or achieve the method, which is a systematic process, is the strategy. That is the planning, the sequencing, the organizing of the techniques to achieve your purpose is the what? The strategy. So when you get this systematic desensitization, that is the technique you're using, and you now arrange it gradually from one step to the other. At the end, your problem, the problem that is before you is solved, is the strategy you used, the organization, the sequencing. So that is it. And these three concepts are interrelated, exist on its own. So I want you to get ready for in the next slide. We will see the activity for this lesson. In 1 minute or two, think of a counseling situation and the method to use in order to achieve the counseling. The method to use to achieve the counseling goal. Welcome back. We'll now talk about the relationship between the three concepts. The three concepts are interrelated in that none exists on its own. In counseling, none of them can work without the other. For example, we talked about the method, being the sequencing, being the systematic process a counselor chooses to achieve the counseling goal. Now, in the systematic, what he does from the beginning to the end, that is the method. Now, the activities that were brought in, the actions, the systematic desensitization, the summarization that were brought in order to achieve the goal at the techniques. And now, the way the actions were planned is the strategy. So for a counseling goal to be achieved, the counselor has to have a method. And in applying the method, she or he must take some specific actions. That's the techniques. And the techniques which must be organized or sequenced. That is a strategy for effectiveness. So in this way, you can see the interrelatedness of the three concepts. They are different, yet they are interwoven. None exists without the other. And so, with this, we come to the end of the class, and I say thank you and